So I have a reading for us that I'm actually using as something of a filler. I mean, it's a beautiful poem, but um, I would love for you to take this time that it'll take me to read this to grab your pets. I'm gonna grab mine right over here out of a deep sleep. All right. So if you can grab your own pets while I'm reading this, and then we're gonna gather back here and we're gonna introduce our non-human friends to each other. So this reading is called A Blessing and it's by James Wright. Just off the highway to Rochester, Minnesota, twilight bounds softly forth on the grass, and the eyes of those two Indian ponies darken with kindness. They have come gladly out of the willows to welcome my friend and me. We step over the barbed wire into the pasture where they have been grazing all day alone. They ripple tensely. They can hardly contain their happiness that we have come. They bow shyly as wet swans. They love each other. At home once more, they begin munching the young tufts of spring in the darkness. I'd like to hold the smaller one in my arms. She's walked over to me and nuzzled my left hand. She is black and white. Her mane falls wild on her forehead, and the light breeze moves me to caress her long ear that is delicate as the skin over a girl's wrist. Then I realize suddenly that if I stepped out of my body, I would break into blossom. I'm hoping that that's given you enough time that you can find your. I see some. So, what we're going to do, Amy, I'm going to ask you to remove the spotlight so that it's not just me that we see, that we can see everybody. And you may want to all make sure you're on gallery view so you can see everybody. I'm going to go through and unmute one at a time so that we can introduce to each other our friends. Now, I'm not going to unmute everybody, so it's only the ones that I can see with pets. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. Here is my little friend.
Oh. A healthy person has two kidneys and could.
All right, we gotta keep everyone on mute until we're ready. This is Atlas. Atlas is 3 years old. He's 6 pounds. He's part poodle, part chihuahua, part Jack Russell Terrier is my best guess because he can jump really high. And I also have a 6-month-old Labradoodle who I just heard go out the door, so she won't be visiting with us. I'm going to unmute one at a time. Those of you I see with some kind of a pet. Now, I don't see one with Amy, although I know I saw she sent a picture before. Oh, there we go. So, Amy, I am asking you to unmute and introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi. Good morning, everybody. This is my oldest friend in the world. His name is Grover, and this is not the first time he's been to a Unitarian Universalist church service. He used to come with me frequently. And if you know the story of the Velveteen Rabbit, you can see Grover has been real for a very long time now. And I know it's a little bit hard to tell what he is, but he is a dog.
Thank you, Amy. Carrie, do you have someone with you?
I do. This is Elwood, and he's probably about 6. For those of you who have seen me in meetings, this is not the cat who usually joins me. She's being cat-like, and that's Athena. I don't know where she is. And then also not with me is my dog, Bruni, who is who knows where.
Thank you, Carrie. Reverend Chris, do you have someone with you?
I am a pet lover. I have several stuffed animals that linger in their bed, period. Thank you, Reverend Peggy, for inviting me. Good morning or good afternoon, everyone, and good morning to some of you.
Let's see, where's the next pet? I don't see one with Lois. I don't see one with Marilyn. Brenda, do you have a pet with you today? Then let's go to the Wagners. Joe, I did just send you a request to unmute. You need to unmute yourselves.
There, now they can hear you. Whoa!
Doesn't like to be held. This is Lucy.
Lucy's out of patience. I let her go.
Okay. Thank you. Good to see Lucy.
She's 8 years old. We had her since she was a little baby kitten. And she's a British short hair.
Thank you for bringing her.
Mm-hmm.
Judy, do you have someone with you? No. Let's go to Annalisa and Kevin. Send you a request to unmute yourselves.
Got it.
No, we're still muted. No,
Are we muted? We're not
Okay.
muted.
this is Rosie. She's 9.5 years old, and she was a rescue cat who will not allow us to pick her up. So we've moved everything over to Rosie, but there she is. Rosie,
As it should be. All cameras centered on Rosie.
there she is. There. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Joel, I don't see anyone with you. I think that Ellen may be in a different screen. I know she emailed. And Jerry, I don't see anyone with you. And Kay, George, you always have a cat with you. Is your cat around? No? Okay. We're going to go down then to Brian. I just sent you a request to unmute yourself.
Okay. This is Stella. She's a long-haired Chihuahua. She's a little over 6 years. And yeah, she's my companion. Plus, I have two birds back here. They're cockatiels, Dundee and Dee Dee. You could probably hear them now and then.
We can hear them.
Yeah, they're with me all the time. Keep me sane in this crazy world.
Thank you so much. And I'm going across, and I see Megan is cradling a sweet little thing.
This is my sweet baby, Wobbles. And he loves to be held. He's so affectionate. I can hold him like a baby almost all day if I wanted to. And he will climb up into my lap anytime he can. He follows me around the apartment like a little puppy dog. It's just the cutest, sweetest thing. And I'm very, very pleased to have him in our family. And his sister Moxie is reclining right now. Oh, look, now he wants to get down.
Thank you, Megan. And let's see, where is our next? I see Virginia just sent you a request to unmute.
Hi, this is Bay. I rescued Bay from a shelter in Brooklyn in 2012 when I was still living in New York City. And in 2014, Bay and I came out to Santa Fe, where we've been ever since. This is his first blessing because Bay is not well behaved around other people he doesn't know. So I've never been able to take him to a blessing. So this is terrific. Very grateful.
Excellent. Let's see, where is the next? I see Jody.
Those of you who've been at a meeting with me at any time in the past year have met my cats Bonnie and Boogie, and they are both hiding right now. So I brought this bunny rabbit that was a Valentine's Day present for my husband, and rabbits are kind of my totem animal because every culture has stories about little bunny rabbits who outwit big, fierce carnivores. So.
Thank you, Jody. And let's go over to Ellen. Just sent you a request to unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi. I figured out how to show the dog without showing me. This is Jakey, and he's lying on my couch in my studio. He's a rescue about 8 years old now. He's part Border Collie, so he's smart. He takes care of us. He knows exactly where I go, and Joel goes during the day. For example, after breakfast, I go to my office. And if I don't, he'll sit there and wait for me to go. So he's taking care of us.
Thank you so much. Let's see, where's the next one? I see Maria sent you a request to unmute.
Hi, everybody. This is Corey. He's about 8 months. He's a rescue, and he's my quarantine pet that I love.
Thank you so much. And Esther, do I see?
This is my neighbor's cat who visits me often and was sunbathing on my bed. And this is Poshi.
Hello, Poshi. Now, did I miss any pets? Are there some that I don't see? Just raise your hand if I missed you.
Lois.
Let's see, Lois. I asked you to unmute. You just need to unmute yourself, Lois.
Okay.
Who do you have with you today?
This is a stuffed animal, and I didn't give this pet a name, but I like having it, and I hold it, and it's comforting.
I understand that. Well, thank you all so much for bringing your pets. We are going to we're going to come back to the pets for our blessing. We're going to have a little bit of music, and then we have a tiny homily, not really a sermon, a little homily, and then we're going to have our blessing. So I've just put Atlas down if you need to let them go for a minute. And we are now going to have a little song, All God's Creatures. When I was about 14, my best friend Fiona decided to get her sister a cat for Christmas. Her sister, then in her 20s, maybe late 30s, and living alone, was absolutely a cat person. I was not. I'd never had a cat, never cared for a cat, was in no way interested in cats. I had a dog. I'd always had a dog. I was proud to call myself a dog person. Dog people are friendly and social. They're always outside, going for walks, talking with other dog people. Dog people were fun and could be found playing frisbee or going to dog beaches. Dog people knew how to enjoy themselves. Cat people, as far as I could tell, liked to stay home and keep to themselves. Fiona's father was also a dog person. When she asked him for help, he informed her that dog people didn't help cat people, and that no cat was going to enter his dog house, even if it was for a Christmas gift for his other daughter. Fiona paid him no mind. She was getting her sister a cat. She located a shelter that had a kitten ready to be picked up, but it was several weeks before Christmas. There was no way she could hide a kitten in her house. She wasn't worried about her sister. Jennifer lived far away. She was worried about her father. No way, no how was this man going to let a cat live with them even for a few weeks. And he wasn't going to help her pick up some horrid kitten either. If she was going to do it, it would be without his help. So my father and I drove Fiona to the shelter where she could pick up this little present, and we brought him back to my house where he was going to live until Christmas. I was reluctant, but Fiona was determined, and I knew better than to stand in her way. That night, I put the kitten in a cage in my room. He meowed. He meowed and meowed and meowed. There was no sleeping with him in a cage, so I took him out and I let him sleep in my bed. He crawled onto my chest and went to sleep. And he purred, and he purred, and he purred, and he purred. It was loud, like a train. So loud, I couldn't sleep. So I put him back in the cage, and he meowed. And I took him out and he purred, and it went on all night long. The next day I reminded Fiona, I am not a cat person. Fiona reminded me about all the nice things her sister had done for us, and it's only a couple of weeks. The cat stayed. I named him Target, in part because he had this funny looking target pattern on his side, in part because he and my dog spent a lot of time playing, which made me think the kitten had become the target of much affection. The second night went much like the first, but by the third, it had gotten better. My dog started sleeping with us, and by the fourth night, the cat was sleeping on top of the dog, which gave me a little extra room. And by the fifth night, my father pointed something out that I wasn't in any way ready to accept. I'd become a cat person. I wanted to deny it, but it was true. Nothing I could do about it. And then I had the difficult job of telling Fiona that Target had become my cat. And I couldn't really imagine parting with him, even if it was for Jennifer, who had been so nice to us. Lucky for me, Fiona understood, and we found her a new cat who lived with Jennifer for a long, long time. I learned an important lesson. I learned that love comes to us when we least expect it, and sometimes from sources we'd dismissed outright. I learned that animals are great fonts of affection, and that all they really need from us is to let them be who they are. And I learned that we don't always know when there's a void in our lives until some sweet creature fills it. And I learned that it's okay to be both a dog and a cat person. In my life, I've loved and have been loved by many different animals. Many of us carry with us the memory of non-human beings who have blessed us on their way. So Carrie and I are going to offer a blessing for all the pets you've brought with you today and for all the animals with whom we share this magnificent planet. I'm going to ask Amy if you could just spotlight both of us. Excellent. If you would like to hold your pet up or put your hands out so that you can offer this blessing along with us. Surrounded by the animals we love, we remember with gratitude the pets, protectors, and animal companions who have blessed our lives.
We give thanks for our childhood pets who companioned us in joy and sorrow. We give thanks for our children's pets who help us to teach them responsibility and right relationship. And we give thanks for the pets who brighten our days and comfort our nights.
Surrounded by beloved pets, we remember that not all animals are treated well.
We remember that both nature and people can be cruel.
In this changing climate, in this world that prioritizes profit over planet, we recognize that we are losing thousands of animals in a human-made extinction spasm. We mourn all those species we have lost, whose beauty and diversity will never be part of our planetary system again.
We remember the black rhinoceros, the white dolphin, the passenger pigeon, the Tasmanian tiger, the dodo bird, the harlequin frog, the dwarfed mantis, and the Indian cheetah, along with thousands of others.
Spirit of life, help us to remember that we live and work and love among the animals. Help us to be their friends, to love them and care for them and protect them from harm. Especially this morning, Spirit of life, bless these animals who are the companions of our lives. Hear our outpouring of love and gratitude for them, and help us translate that into love and gratitude for all your creatures.
We bless these animals we love. We pledge to care for them tenderly and faithfully, and to remember that we are not alone here on earth.
Amen.
Amen.